Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Scare Your Friends, the only podcast on the internet that's scarier than your mom in a pie shop. I am joined by...
Boo! You haven't been here. You haven't been
Has
here.
it been this bad?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's been really bad.
Oh dear.
I like to be the first to say welcome back, Will. Welcome back to the
That
That
madness.
ruins the whole bit. I was gonna do a bit where there's like a cold breeze coming from northern Massachusetts.
All right, after
mentioned-
that
you
pie
mentioned mothers
thing,
and pie.
Yeah, you couldn't.
You killed yourself.
It's been really bad.
that was
couldn't recover.
horrifying.
Well, welcome to Scare Your Friends, everybody. I am joined by my quote-unquote friends,
Yeah.
Dylan.
Hello.
It's been a while, Dylan. How are you today?
Your mother's a pie.
You missed every part of it. Dan.
That's
She
horrible.
wants me to eat her hair pie. It's an old Family Guy joke. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a good day or is having a good day. You know, so
Make up your damn mind.
I don't know.
And coming back to us, our boys come home. He survived the cold winds of northern Massachusetts, and he's back because he loves this podcast so
Yeah.
much. William is back.
Yeah, and everyone's just as funny as I remember them being.
Yay!
What a brutal couple.
But we
minutes.
don't have Nate near, so once again, the core four is not assembled.
That's fine.
The core four of friends.
The
So
core
anyway,
Fantastic Four.
this is William's first podcast back in a few months. The last time William really recorded anything was the Facebook one, which was actually recorded
Yes.
before Dusty's. So it's
Yeah.
actually been, so we've done Dusty's, we've done Lost episodes, we've done String Theory, and we've done the Strange Security tape. We've done 4 episodes since William has been
I'm
gone.
gonna laugh when someone finds out that you're wrong about that.
No, it's
No,
true.
he's right.
He knows.
I'm right. I
He's
know I
on
was-
his shit.
No, I'm saying.
And if you haven't
No.
watched those, ladies and gentlemen, you absolutely should.
Oh, God. Oh, this is terrible. Well, anyway, today, because William is a big fan of Pokemon, I figure we'd welcome him with...
I didn't sanction this. I'm not
We're
happy
reading
with this.
Pokemon Strangled Red because Pokemon Pasta is a thing, and ever since
Pokemon Go.
ever since Pokemon Go became a thing, there's been Pokemon Go Creepypastas too.
Okay.
Ew,
And they are
no.
just,
Oh.
they are great.
We're at a
Oh.
point where Pokemon Go was a thing and is not anymore.
It's still
really.
a thing.
Thank
I-
God.
No,
Yes.
they killed themselves.
No, it has moved through the cultural.
It really, it's
It
so
was
much.
it was its own creepypasta. It came and it went.
It was
Yeah,
a
it's
flash
just
in a
what it
pan.
Yeah, yep. Like everything else on the internet these days.
Niantic buried it, so that's fine.
Niantic had it made it come to life, and then they.
Anyway, Strangled Red, John, let's do
Wait,
it.
is
Now
this a
before-
Pokemon Go pasta?
No.
Pasta.
Yeah.
It's not paste son.
Before I do this, I just want to quickly
Slowly.
go through the list of Pokemon Go Creepypastas just to give you an idea.
Oh, this sounds unfortunate.
And we'll be covering all of them.
So, we got our classics, of course. We got Abandoned Pokédoll. We've got Absol. We got Ash's Coma. We've got Battery Ditto. We've got Pokemon Black, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Dark Green, Pokemon Gold
read
Glitch,
Pokemon Black.
Lost Silver, Pokemon Pinwheel Village, Pokemon War Theory, Poliwhirl, Poor Rival, Project Evolution, and so many more.
That's a long list.
That's
yeah.
a
Please
long-
don't read all of them.
Glitchy Red's there, Hypno's Lullaby. Oh,
I've
it's
seen
it's
Hypnos Lullabies too.
yeah. So
This is
it has
upsetting.
had to happen. Now here's the thing. People who have spoken to me on some of the creepypasta things that I do, or some of the forums that I do, know how much I, let's just say, find how I find haunted gaming to be a bit.
Okay.
No,
All right.
we're progressing.
I'm sorry.
All
Okay,
right.
Dylan.
I guess interesting. What are you
Maltempered.
doing?
Huh?
He's
Why are
thrusting.
you thrusting?
No, that's not what was happening.
I'm pretty sure that's what was happening.
No, you saw it wrong. Go
Okay,
ahead. Please continue with what you were saying.
Did we?
No. Nothing happened.
Okay, all right, whatever you say. So anyway,
I can't do it because there's no visual, so it's just Go ahead. Power through.
so this is Pokemon Strangled Red. It's a popular Pokemon creepypasta, and the reason why, basically, I want to do a few haunted gaming stuff that I find interesting. But in order for you guys to really understand it at this point, I need you to Fuck you, Will. He's like, he's doing some weird shit right now. He's in a weird mood.
He was
I
deep
don't
throwing
know.
the mic.
Look,
Okay.
That didn't happen.
oh,
You were
God.
this close to the mic.
This might be the worst intro we've
John,
done.
for fuck's sake, just start the
I mean,
story
it's
before
not
I have a
great.
goddamn panic attack.
I'm trying to explain. Okay, look, there's some haunted gaming stuff that I eventually want to show you guys, but I feel like we have to do a kind of generic story first in order to just to give you an idea of what this is.
You know
And what better way to start than some Pokepasta?
You know what I feel like? I feel like you should record these intros way before we even
Yeah,
fucking
before
sit
we're
down.
in the room, and then we can't like
And then we turn
sabotage
it-
them,
I want to be Strangled Red.
and then we can show up.
Okay.
And Dylan can say awful things.
Well, Dan, you could
I
start
want
since
to
you want to
say
read so badly. You could start with Strangled Red.
Okay, well.
So this is
Strangled-
Pokemon Strangled Red by Anonymous. So
Strangled-
there's at least there's not an author we can make fun of.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I'm not going to say what I feel of the story. Wink.
By the way,
Get to the
Strangled
story?
Red sounds like me and my ex-girlfriend's relationship.
Hey,
Anyway.
Hey.
Let's not bring past things.
Okay.
Okay, Dylan.
He did it.
There are tons of stories out there about hacked Pokemon games. Some of them really quite neat, such as the one about a version where you get a ghost as a starter. Would that be Pokemon Black?
Maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some are ridiculous, silly stories about individuals dying after playing a game or the game talking to them. God, don't these writers know less is more when it comes to these stories? Oh, boy.
So this person
Oh, well,
wants
I
to be
digress.
special. This person wants to be special away from
When
all the
you-
other Pokemon stories.
When you... Okay, I love how people think that that's clever. Like, they reference the metafiction.
Yeah.
And that usually is not a great start.
Well,
these
it's
days.
an attempt to make themselves instantly appear to be above it.
Right.
And
Now-
Catch
smart.
your-
Now, to
yeah,
be
yeah,
fair, remember
yeah.
another story that did that was Lost Episodes, but that did it smart. That
That's
was kind of
because
smart.
Slime Beast is, like, basically
The
our
thing
god.
is,
When we do these now.
It's really important to maintain a tone of not pretension, which this
Yeah,
person
yeah.
has
Oh,
already
boy.
Did you say
completely
maintain?
failed.
Right.
God, don't these
Maintain.
writers know less is more when it comes to writing these stories? And then you scroll down the page to see how much there is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no shit. Like, what a fucking middle finger
Just
already
keep
in
going.
this story.
Keep going.
I grew interested in these hack games that are apparently in any thrift store, on eBay, or handed out by homeless people to rent to random passerbys. I assume he's talking about like other shitty story scenarios.
You know what's funny? I read this story a long time ago and I forgot how great it is. And I'm gonna. This is gonna be really enjoyable for me.
I didn't have the pleasure. Okay, the fact that he said that, I automatically go to Jeff the Killer. Anyway, I
Nope.
didn't have the pleasure of meeting these creepy people. I merely found this particular cartridge in a trash bin with a garbage truck back into my neighbor's dumpster.
I noticed the game and asked the trash man if I could take it. He didn't seem to mind. It was
course.
thrown away after all. I of course checked with my neighbor to confirm if they actually didn't want it, though they seemed perplexed as if they'd never seen it in their life. Oh my god.
So it's in the garbage and he's asking for permission to.
There's a
Yeah.
reason it's in the damn
No,
garbage.
it's like you're telling a story and you're going down like a million different avenues. Like this guy's the worst storyteller.
Like you start off by saying, "Man, these writers don't know what to say." Anyway, I like getting these games from homeless people, and there's a particular cartridge I found in a garbage can. A garbage guy knocked over the garbage dumpster, and I found my game in the garbage. And I asked the neighbors, and they said it was okay, but they seemed perplexed if they didn't want it. It's like you're putting all this stuff in.
I could picture a dude who's 40 years old who could be listening to this podcast and be like, "That's my fucking story."
40?
Yes.
40.
Yes.
10.
Why not?
No, it's 40.
10.
10.
10.
Pokemon Red. Think about it.
Whatever, dude.
Could be a woman.
Or
progressive view.
No. It
Well,
can't.
they're not. They're not.
Women
they're not
don't
crazy.
play video games, Will. Don't you know?
Oh, of course.
Oh,
silly
yeah.
me. Silly me. Never mind.
You stupid asshole.
Leave all your angry comments at D&D Super Fun Time. That's Dan's
That's
thing.
not a thing yet.
Yet.
Weak.
Like, comment, and subscribe to our Let's Play
Stop,
channel
stop,
sometime
please
this
stop.
millennium.
Wow.
Stop it. Nate's not
you
even
started
here.
No.
You started it.
We're
so
keeping
don't
the
yell
team
at
alive,
them.
okay?
We are.
May I?
All right, we need to read this story.
Yes.
Their son made a grab for it. A little boy who saw the Charizard on the cover, crying out, "Pokemon! I want Mommy!" But his mother told him no, seeing as I found it. He didn't even have a Game Boy anyway. He just liked Pokemon.
How do you
His
know
name was
that?
Dylan.
How did he know that? I did
What?
not know he had a game. I guess maybe the mother said, "You don't even have a Game Boy." All right, whatever.
The mom would definitely not know that information off the top of her head.
Oh, you don't even have a Game Boy.
You know how parents are.
Charizard-
They're like, I want this because my son won't shut up about it.
Charizard is Pikachu to them. That's what my mom would call
Okay.
Charizard Pikachu all the time.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Okay.
People don't know the difference.
Thinking nothing more, I simply went home, looking at the cartridge's sticker on the way. Just a plain old red version. The sticker torn slightly across the Charizard's neck. but that was expected with such an old game. I had blue version as a kid, so I was a bit eager to see the albeit minimal differences red version had. I told you this guy's not 10 years old. I was rather disappointed by what I saw when the title screen showed up. Pokemon Strangled Red version.
Oh boy.
Strangled Red.
Oh boy.
Well, damn it, it was a hack. Hacks were neat and all, but they had zero monetary value. The original is quite valuable now. Sorry. And I wanted to play Red anyway. Not this crap. Oh well, it was free. Might as well try it. Is this going to be about suicide?
Dylan, you
I'll let you
always think
decide.
that the stories are about
Is
suicide.
it? Guys,
No,
I think that.
it's either a dream or suicide.
Yeah, I was
for
going
you.
to say, Dylan's, man, this is a dream sequence.
Dream. Dylan, if we ever read a story where a guy kills himself in his dream, your fucking head's gonna explode.
Whoa, I called it.
Whoa! Whoa! This is the greatest story ever.
How many podcasts?
Hold on.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna because I love Pokemon Creepypasta so much. I'm gonna write this in the same mannerism as this author probably
You're
said.
gonna read this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not right this.
The name was odd, however. Strangled Red.
Oh, wait, hold on. So for just the audience, please don't do that.
The name was
Please don't do that. You're welcome, everyone, by the way.
the name was odd, however. Strangled Red. That made no sense. Not even the morbid description of someone being asphyxiated as people turn blue and choking, not red. Who knows? Maybe there was a pair of these hacks and I just got the red one.
Oh my.
Will is already.
William is in a bad mood.
Already.
Welcome back,
It's just-
Pokemon fan.
We're not
There's-
even a third of the way through.
There's just an upsetting lack of writing ability on
The
display.
more
here.
I thought about this, though, the more interested I became. My initial disappointment turned into curiosity. I wanted to know what the creator had made, and I was going to note everything I saw. The first oddity I noticed was the start screen had a Charizard next to the trainer instead of a Charmander. Also, the Pokemon never cycled through like the original versions did. It just stayed Charizard, even after 5 minutes of waiting. Shrugging, I hit start, noticing there was no Charizard cry as I did, like there was supposed to be. I saw there was a continue option, so I figured I'd do what everyone else did with their used games and see what the previous owner had done. No! I don't even...
Is this fucking Jumanji?
I don't know. I
You
just
can't play the game. You can't continue from someone else's game.
Oh, that's the screen. I thought it was him saying it.
Yeah, no.
No, it
No,
was the screen.
The screen
No.
says
Screen said
no when he hits
I blinked in
continue.
surprise. No? What do you mean, no?
You didn't say that.
You know, like Chansey's animation, like going like, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, hell no.
Stop.
That's upsetting, Dylan.
The game wouldn't let me continue no matter what. Oh my god, I'm losing my place. The game wouldn't let me continue no matter what. Though, on the 4th attempt, I heard the Charizard cry. Quiet and barely audible. But there, shrugging it off, I decided to just hit new game. Like I would after checking the old file anyway.
When somebody... Okay, the...
You can't even think it's worse than I thought.
No.
It's worse than I
No.
thought.
What is it,
Hold
Dan?
the fucking phone.
The phone is being held.
You're right, it is. Shit, I reset my space. The creepypasta that we've read, that's good. Okay? The ones that we enjoy. There's a certain amount of subtlety to them, and the way they're written.
Well, you don't think Strangled Red means anything?
No, not
This
even.
already is just in your face bullshit.
No, but see, like, it's not even what he chooses to say. It's that this person has no ability to write with any nuance.
That's what
in
I'm
any
saying.
way.
There's
like,
no nuance.
Like, there's no, like, he tries to write from a perspective of, like, here's my kind of thought flow, you know what I mean? He tries to do a stream of consciousness style
Right.
kind of thing, like,
Right.
oh, I knew this and that, and then I thought this. But instead of it being, like, interesting in what humans think, it's just like, I got out of bed. Uh-oh, better close the shades.
It's like
uh-oh, better
it's
go
like,
outside.
It's like reading like a telegraph.
It's so
basically.
stilted.
Yeah.
Every
yeah.
sentence is just totally cut off from the one before, and it's
That
so
was,
awkward
that
to
was my problem
read.
with Jane Austen.
Speaking of
That was a nightmare to get
Yeah.
through.
speaking of reading, guess whose turn? It's your turn.
All right,
Yeah,
all right,
Will's back.
all right. What, this,
I can't believe this is the first sentence you get to read. The screen.
the screen cut to black for a while. No Professor Oak, no starting theme, just nothing at all. Eventually, the screen came back, showing a bedroom, 2 beds, 2 TVs, and a computer in the corner. My trainer sprite was the usual one, consistent with the original red version. I was curious as to why it didn't ask my name, though. No, that was answered as I opened the pause menu, noticing my trainer was named Steven. No, this isn't my real name or some stupid crap like that.
What?
This game isn't self-aware or haunted, at least not that I know of. It just had a name chosen already.
First of all, he says no quite a lot.
That was a baffling,
No,
thought
he doesn't.
There.
Oh, you bastard.
Dylan,
Who boy? Go ahead,
Why is does he hate the name Steven?
you don't want to read anymore?
Okay, the idea of this, it wasn't that he hated the name Steven. He was saying, he's trying to be meta again. So he's saying that, I noticed that the name was put as Steven. And he's supposed to, and then you think, oh, but I'm Steven, how'd it know? But instead
No,
he's like,
no.
no, that's not my real name.
Yeah,
this game isn't haunted.
He's
Steven
because
Amoeba?
as the author, he's aware of other it's one of those things where creepypasta exists in the universe of the story,
Yeah.
which is kind of a first for us, really.
It's a story
We
within a
haven't
story.
read stories.
You're
where
giving him
Except
a
for
lot
Lost
of credit.
Episodes.
Well, okay,
Lost
yeah.
Episodes was there.
You're
That's-
giving
Yeah,
him...
but they're not. But Lost Episodes,
It stopped after
the
the first.
author is not aware of the genre of. Excuse me, of the genre known as creepypasta. He just knows that Lost Episodes exist. The fact that they are other stories on the creepypasta is inconsequential. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do. This is the first story we read where the author's like, oh, I know of creepypasta, and I read all the Pokemon ones, and they're all shit.
Well-
So he's shitting all over the tropes, but it doesn't make you better or more interesting.
Well, see, what makes it interesting
the
is
meta
that
commentary's stupid.
it's
Yeah.
it's spoken in first person, so it's hard to distinguish narrator from character, I guess. I don't know if
Yeah,
there's supposed
right,
to be a distinction. And that's my question is he breaking the fourth wall as a narrator?
He is. He technically
Or
is.
is what you were saying, he's trying to make it like a meta thing where the character's talking about creepy
No,
stuff?
because
Well, I think the character narrator.
I think it's a bit of
one.
both. I think he's because it's hard to distinguish between the author and the
Because
narrator.
you
This
make
was
it
part of the
sound
problem.
like he's doing something different by incorporating creepypasta into his story. Where I think
Right.
he's just trying to narrate and be funny in between.
It sounds
I
more
mean,
like
it could be either or to be
I'm just trying to give him less credit.
But
that's all.
it sounds like more like narrator and protagonist are the same person.
This guy just
What
thinks
sounds
he's
more
clever
like-
because he's trying to have this funny meta commentary. No, the cartridge was not and fun, and it's
No,
this
my
is
mom
not-
didn't feed me
this is-
breakfast. I
right.
made it myself.
This is not clever, and it's not interesting, and it's not this guy thinks
No, it's
being
agony.
a smart ass.
Totally
is-
agony.
He's,
I mean,
he's, he's
okay.
purposely putting
Right.
other stories down, saying,
Right,
"Oh, they're
right.
all a bunch
All right,
of
let's
Which is
keep-
stupid.
Let's
Yeah,
keep reading.
okay.
Curious.
That's what podcasts are for.
Curious.
I feel that inside.
I saw he had the starter amount of money and no badges. He didn't look like Red, though. His hair was longer, almost reaching halfway down his back. Red's usual smile replaced with a confident smirk.
Sonic.
Honestly, I found this sprite much cooler than Red. Aw, titties. We got ourselves a 12-year-old.
That's what I thought.
Next, I checked out his Pokemon. A single Charmander, level 5, named Mickey. Nothing was odd about it. Or should I say, her, with the name and all. She had beginning Charmander stats. Only knew Scratch and Tail Whip. Basic stuff. The game seemed relatively normal.
Hey, Dan, can you guess why this story may be a bit long?
Because we're going to agonizingly break down every second.
No.
No, we
we're
have some
not.
dialogue to do.
Returning to the game, I walked about the room, noticing Steven's long hair was present on the back of my trainer sprite when my back was turned to the camera. I didn't recognize the house, but I descended the stairs to see more. Downstairs was another trainer who spoke to me the instant I came down. Ready yet? Yeah. I assume, Mike.
Mike said ready yet.
So
Yeah.
he instead of writing like a human, this author decides to write in
Game form.
Pokemon
Game form.
game
well,
form.
no,
now.
in
He switched to game form. That's what's
He
happening.
switched to screenplay writing
Yeah.
style, where
Yeah.
instead of actually incorporating the characters'
Yeah.
names, like as in Mike said ready yet, he just puts Mike and then a colon and then writes it.
He's writing it the way it would show up in text in the game.
It is
Which
so
I don't
it annoys the
have a problem
hell
with
out of me
this.
when people do
I
that.
don't have a problem with this.
It's a pet peeve.
I assume this Mike was my rival, pre-decided for me, a replacement of Blue, most likely. Though I thought back to the bedroom having two beds, realizing they weren't just rivals, they were brothers. I was thinking the same thing.
They're banging.
They talk back and forth, basic Pokemon dialogue, become a Pokemaster, catch 'em all, stuff like that. We're having a little argument over which is better, Charmander or Squirtle, which of course led to the introduction battle. like the one in Red versus Blue. Simple enough, scratch, tackle, till I won purely for having the first turn.
Fair enough.
I
Okay.
have a funny feeling I know where this is going. I took note of how much better Steven's sprite looked in combat than Red's, a different pose, his hair looking like it was blowing in the wind, a brief minor upgrade, but still much nicer.
I left the house after some more banter with my brother, stepping out to the Pallet Town theme. Going to the east, I found this was indeed Pallet Town. The house was simply on the outskirts to the west. I noted there was no mysterious grassy field like in normal Pallet Town. Wandering about, I decided to check in on Red's home.
How is he wandering? Palatown's like the size of a stamp.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wander around for a bit, but just walk around a building.
He was
maybe
playing. He and I were just playing Pokemon Go. While playing.
His mother was inside, and when I talked to her, she commented on how handsome Steven looked, hoping her son would look up to him as a role model for when he became a trainer himself next year. Which, of course, led me to realize this game took place a year before the original Pokemon. Red was even upstairs, playing the SNES in his room, commenting, "I'm gonna be the best too when it's my turn."
Okay, I can accept that. That's
Wait. So he's saying this is a prequel to
Yeah.
the original Red. Okay.
Okay, I can.
That's not
That's
bad.
not a bad idea.
You know, the famous prequel to Red, Strangled Red.
Strangled Red.
You
Yeah,
know,
of course.
That's how it goes.
I like the idea of it though. As a whatever.
It's a
I was-
pre-sequel.
I was starting to like this hack. It was interesting, a completely new adventure, a different character. Hell, Stephen even seemed to have a history with the people in this town, a reputation, a personality beyond a silent protagonist. The people in town talked to him as a person, making conversation, not just spouting tutorial crap. Even Blue's sister had new dialogue. They seemed to be in a relationship too. As the dialogue ended with a kiss and a heart over her head.
Banging.
Professor Oak simply wished me well, giving me a Pokedex, stay in my adventure.
Is your mom
He wasn't-
single?
God damn
Your
it.
mom and her pie.
Oh, Oak. You dog.
He wasn't giving it to me to be the reason... Wait, what? He wasn't giving it to me to be the reason behind the adventure.
They don't
Am I
call
reading
him
this?
Oak for
Am I
nothing.
reading this right?
Yeah, it's worded weird.
Professor
Basically,
Oak-
hold on,
no,
no.
Professor Oak gives you the Pokedex and he's like, fill the Pokedex, and like that's basically your goal.
He wasn't giving it to me to be the reason behind the adventure like every other Pokemon game out there. Comma, he gave it to me out of kindness, comma, something to help me on my way, comma, a gift.
There's always that one
Why?
sentence in these fucking stories that is just really.
I was
worded
liking
as
this
awful.
more and more with every second. The game seemed to have an actual story now. I was somebody, not just some cookie-cutter protagonist anyone could be. Not some blank sheet that could be replaced without notice.
Because when I play Pokemon, I played for the story.
Yep, that's right.
The story was different, though the actual gameplay remained unchanged. I went north like I'm supposed to, went from town to town, collected badges, received praises from the leaders. Steven's fame even seemed to spread, as some NPCs would talk like they knew him. Oh, thank God he didn't explain every single... I went up
Yeah,
north,
really.
went to...
Oh my gosh.
Fucking...
The Pewter Gym.
That could be like a...
Rock.
This is a 5-part... This is a 5-act
The
pasta.
saga.
5-act pasta.
I used Mickey for every battle, and she was growing surprisingly fast. She handled Brock with ease, even pounded Missy with no trouble at all.
Well,
He did that on purpose.
well.
I think this author went a little bit of points well there.
She wasn't as adversely affected by super effective attacks as others, did more damage than a regular Charmander. She was a veritable powerhouse. She even became a Charizard at the mere level of 25. Not bad at all, I must say. Things started to get weird, though, as soon as I reached Lavender Town. God damn it!
Of course.
God
Of
damn
course.
it.
Of course.
Wait, keep reading though.
I know. Lavender Town is the focus behind every creepy story in the
So
lake.
this motherfucker decides he wants to sit here and shit all over these
unbelievable.
Pokemon pastas, and then he gets to Lavender Town and goes, listen, I know Lavender Town is the focus of all the creepypastas, but it's weird in this one too. It's like,
Dude,
fuck you,
You know,
dude.
it's fucking...
Fuck you.
People, like, do this bullshit where they, like, grin and wink, and they're like, well, I'm doing it ironically. You know, it's like...
and it doesn't make it better.
If you shit on the floor ironically, there's still shit on your floor.
Right.
It's like, what are you doing?
Right.
It's so
I
not...
shit on the floor, but I did it on purpose.
Guys,
so...
I knew it
I
was
did
Right,
it
weird.
cool.
right.
I did it to prove a point.
right.
infuriating.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Fucking.
There was
hate
no
this.
Team Rocket invasion, which I found odd, though I did remember this was a year in the past, so the invasion wouldn't occur until Red's time. I tried to enter Pokemon Tower, aiming to get a Ghastly, but that's when it got odd.
By the way, front loading.
Yeah, well.
Steven says, I have no reason to be here.
Steven wouldn't go into Pokemon Tower no matter what I did. This was weird. I mean, hell, there are a million places in Kanto you really have no need to be. Little random houses with nothing but children NPCs, for example. Why was it here that Steven wouldn't enter? With a shrug, I figured I wouldn't need a Ghastly, seeing as Mickey could handle anything. So I simply went on my way. Lavender Town serving no purpose other than a passageway with a Poké Center.
The game progressed normally from there. The remaining gyms fell, and eventually I made my way to the Elite Four and defeated them. As with Blue, my brother, Mike, was there before me, initiating the championship battle, which Mickey swept with ease. The aftermath of the battle was None of the listen, ominous anonymous. The aftermath of the battle was quite pleasant. None of the tension that was present between Red and Blue at the end of their match. The brothers congratulated each other on their progress and shook hands before the screen went white. No Hall of Fame, nor any credits. When the screen came back, it was at the house again. The two brothers sitting at the computer conversing with each other. Steven, I don't want to. Mike says, come on, I just gotta borrow her for a second to finish the Pokedex. The entry won't register unless she recognizes me as a master for just a second. Steven, but she's my Mickey. Mike, I promise I'll give her back. Come on, please. Yes. Yes? No?
I get to pick.
These are two options you select in game.
Right, okay, I was a bit perplexed, so I hit no to be cautious. Come on, please? No! Come on, please? I realized this would simply continue to loop until I hit yes, so I did, just to see what would happen. Alright, this will take a sec. Then we'll both be Pokemasters. Steven, ...
The screen changed to the animation shown when two people trade Pokemon, which I found a bit weird seeing as I was solo. But whatever, this was what was apparently supposed to happen.
Oh no.
Mickey went first. I watched lazily as she began to travel down the trading tube. Snap! That made me jump. The sudden noise resonating in my silent bedroom, loud due to the volume being way up. Looking at the screen, I noticed the game had seemed to freeze. Mickey's still in mid-trade, but the game wasn't doing anything. With a sigh, I just turned off the game, wondering when my last save was. When the game turned back on, I stared for a moment at the start screen. There was no Charizard next to the trainer. Upon pressing start, I saw the new game option was absent, leaving only continue. This was strange to say the least, so I selected it. The game staring without even showing my stats as usual, my jaw dropped as what I was greeted with. 1 year later.
Oh, fuck you.
So did you notice the snap?
This is, first off, it's not irregular to see Pokemon being traded in-game solo, because you do that 3 fucking times in the game.
Yeah, that does happen multiple times.
But this is literally like, because way before this podcast, years and years and years ago, I was hanging out with my friends, and we were like looking up Creepypasta, and we read the Pokemon Black one, and this is literally basically, not basically, there's elements of this that are fucking exactly the same. The weird shit with Lavender Town, the fucking time passing.
The ghost.
Yeah, it's really fucking, this is so stupid.
But you heard the snap. Strangled Red.
Ugh.
What do you think happened?
It's not strangled then. You snap their neck. It should just be called Pokemon Snap.
I can still be right.
Oh,
about what?
Him committing suicide.
Oh God! What, he traded his Pokemon that committed
Pokemon
suicide?
He tried to trade his suicide. Stop it. He tried to trade his Pokemon, but it didn't happen. He lost her forever.
Call it a Pokeside.
he lost his Mickey.
There's
You're
no
so
reason
fine.
to live.
You're so fine. You blow my mind.
Hey, Mickey.
The Lavender Town theme came first.
Of course it did.
Playing its normal way, the screen slowly fading into the blackness.
In from blackness.
Steven was in the Pokemon Tower.
Good.
Which had the music even stranger.
Maybe.
Seeing as the tower had its own theme, he was standing in front of a tombstone.
Oh, here we go.
Not doing anything. I wonder what was going on, so I pressed A. Steven, ... Confused, I tried walking, realizing I was indeed in control at the moment. I bought the pause menu and checked my party. Mickey was gone. Not just Mickey, all Pokemon. He had nothing. The Pokedex was absent from the menu. His bag was empty. Honestly concerned now. I checked his trainer card. He had no money. He had no badges. His playtime was 8,795 hours, which was impossible as I had only logged 30 before. But that wasn't the strangest part. His picture, the picture of the handsome, confident young trainer was different. His eyes were black.
Blank.
Blank. I thought I said black.
No.
Blank.
That was a bad word. Eyes were blank. His face turned slightly down. That smirk of his was gone, replaced by a lack of any expression at all. That long hair of his, before in a perfect perm,
I don't think this person knows what
was
a perm
now
is.
messy and unkempt.
What?
What?
What
I couldn't look at him I couldn't look at him anymore. Closing the menu, I went to move out of the tower, but with every step I took away from the tombstone, the screen flickered like it did when a Pokemon was poisoned.
Grony fucking groan.
Gulping, I bought up the trainer card again. His picture was getting even worse. Every step I took, he hung his head more and more. His shoulders slumped. He bent over. By the time I exited the tower, he was on his knees, hands to his face, hair draped across him.
What?
Want to read well?
Sure. Fucking sure. I had guessed already what was going on, but this clinched it. I began to put some things together in my mind. I had always wondered why there was no champion in the original games besides your rival. Why it was you, the protagonist, had to beat your rival when he just waltzed in, no previous champion to challenge. Then it struck me. The answer was right here. The previous champion gave up. His precious Mickey was apparently dead, and with her so died part of him. His Pokedex, the Pokemon, his badges, his fame, all of it, he threw it away. In that year, the year that I missed, the year where all those hours came from, I even did the math. There is 8,765 hours in a year. Add that to my 30 from before, and it matched up.
Dude, fuck this.
Grony fucking groan.
So much better than I remember.
This is agony. Okay, fuck. Even so, the game kept going. This should have been an ending, I thought. I mean, what else was there to do? I had no Pokedex, no Pokemon, not anything. What was I supposed to be doing? I talked to everyone in the town, but they all said similar things. Are you okay? Still mourning, I see. Everything will be alright. Please, is there anything we can do? Steven never replied to them, and they all simply said the same things over and over. I couldn't put the game down now. This was all so strange. Curious, I headed off into the tall grass, and eventually got into a battle with a Rattata. No Pokemon was sent out, just Steven's sprite. I was wondering how I'd battle. Wild Rattata left you be. The battle ended without anything happening. This was certainly interesting, and it happened with every Pokemon I encountered. Wild Pidgey ignored you. Wild Ponyta wandered off.
Is this supposed to be scary?
Yeah, I know.
This is just fucking stupid.
This seems like sad pasta. Like he's trying to make like the tears flow.
This is just fucking...
It's awful.
The music never changed either, no matter where I went. Lavender Town came from the speakers. Yeah. First of all, yeah, this guy really doesn't know what a fucking period is. Came from the speakers following me, sometimes slowed down slightly, sometimes not. I searched everywhere, every town, talked to everybody, wondering just what the hell I needed to do. My frustration was mixing with the depressing atmosphere of all this, making the experience altogether unnerving and uncomfortable. You know, I could have turned the game fucking off and just went about my day.
That's the problem with 95% of these stories.
But I couldn't tear myself away.
Yep.
I was starting to get a bit angry, though. Nobody telling me anything besides giving me their condolences and trying to give me items like lemonade or coffee. Each met with Steven saying no. I slapped myself for idiocy, suddenly realizing how the likely answer was right in front of me.
Of course.
Pallet Town, of course!
Of course!
When I went there, though, which took a long time, having to walk, no Pokemon to fly with, no bicycle to ride, and Steven only seemed to move half the regular movement speed. That alone, I would have threw the game out the fucking window. It wasn't much different. I first tried talking to Professor Oak. These things happen, you were just unlucky. Next, I tried Blue's sister. Please don't leave home again. Red's mom wouldn't even talk to me at all. With nowhere else in mind to go, I walked to the west, finding the house from the beginning, which I never entered since leaving Pallet Town. Inside was Mike, but talking to him was just as useless. I'm so sorry. I pondered for a moment if this really was the ending. Stephen doomed to do nothing but roam Kanto in misery, haunted by the memories, forced to listen to everyone's concerns about him. As a last-ditch effort to do anything, I went to the bedroom and walked over to the bed. I'm going to sleep, Stephen said. The screen faded to black for a moment, then slowly faded back in, the world having a black tint to it. The mic sprite laying in the other bed. I assumed this meant it was night. Oh, boy.
Oh.
May I?
Go ahead,
Please,
Dylan.
Dill.
Steven, I'm going to do it. Do what?
Oh!
Again, I had no idea. I had no idea. Tried inspecting everything in the room. Nothing happened. As soon as I left the house, another dialogue. Steven, it can bring her back. It can do anything. What is this it you were referring to? What in the hell was it? Something that
The
could
Pokemon item revive.
I couldn't for the
I
life
hope
of
to
me.
God you're joking.
I couldn't for the life of me figure it out. Wandering about, I tried to leave Pallet Town the usual way. Steven, not that way. He wouldn't go any further. I tried the homes. Steven, screw them. I quirked my eyebrow at that, forgetting for a moment this was not a real Pokemon game. The vulgarity just took me off guard.
Vulgarity.
Sorry.
Screw them is a very...
12-year-old confirmed
Vulgar.
further, I think.
I continued to look around, but there was nowhere I could go, until I accidentally stepped on the ocean and Steven walked right in. Only the upper half of his sprite visible, like the swimmers you encountered in Cerulean Gym. I didn't know he could swim. Steven, the missing one.
Oh no.
Missing one?
Oh
I
no.
paused for a moment. No, he couldn't
no.
possibly be.
No!
Possibly me.
No!
I hadn't tried the missing no trick.
Fuck.
I don't even know what that is.
I
I don't even know what that
Why?
is.
I'm so ready to walk away.
I don't even know what
my-
that is.
I'm so
Basically,
fucking
okay.
ready. No, do not try to explain to him. We do not have time for this bullshit.
Fine.
I need to know for the story.
So there's
Can
a.
I explain? No, let me
All right, explain the missing no
You
glitch.
go to, in Pokemon Red and Blue, you go to Cinnabar Island, which is like the 7th gym.
Right, okay.
You use Surf on the edge, but depending on what how your name is spelled, with certain characters, certain Pokemon will appear. Like if you have like a question mark,
I feel like that's
a
wrong.
level 134, I've done it before. A level 134 like missing no, which is like glitched Pokemon, doesn't
Okay.
exist. Well, just appears like a little glitch thing.
It's like a jumble of
I
sprites.
have seen that, yeah. But
I have it on my-
It's supposed to be a It's a.
I'll
It's
show you
a.
on my
It's a
2DS
missing
next time.
Pokemon.
and
A
it's
missing
like
number.
it's like a real glitch, and then everyone like freaks out about it.
You can't trade it to anything. That's the thing.
Oh, a missing no is also a common thing sighting in most
Oh,
Pokemon
I'm
Creepypasta.
sure.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure.
I hadn't tried the missing no number trick on this hack yet, but it just fit too well. That had to be
How?
what he meant.
How?
I surfed all the way towards
How does it
Cinnabar.
fit? Hold on. How does it fit into the context of until the character says the missing one? This does not fit
Here's
into
the
story at all.
problem. The author is basically like saying, "Of course it's this. Of course," not letting the reader come
So
to their
this
own
author-
conclusions.
so this
but it's
author-
basically, you're basically having the author telling you what makes sense.
So
Yeah, it's horrible.
So this author sits here at the beginning of the story, shits all over all these Pokemon creepypastas, and then writes the exact
yeah,
same
Drops
tropey
his
bullshit
fucking Magna Cum asshole
that
on the world.
every fucking
At least
other fucking
Pokemon Black
person-
was self-aware. At least it just wrote it, and that was it.
May I?
Yeah, keep
Oh,
going.
sorry,
I
Dale.
surfed all the way towards Cinnabar. I began to feel something was off. More so than this already was silence. The Lavender Town theme had stopped. There was no noise at all, nor were there any Pokemon. I just kept going, finding Cinnabar and surfing up and down the east coast. Lo and behold, Wild Missing No appeared. Steven, mine. Wild Missing No was caught.
With what?
What the hell?
How'd he catch it?
What the hell? Steven didn't do anything. He just commanded that atrocity of broken data to join. No, become his possession. And it did. I was getting more and more disturbed by this all. Checking the start menu, I saw Missing No was not in my party, but instead an item, making things even stranger. I checked the trainer card as well. Steven had his back to me, his long hair draped behind him, his hands in his pockets. Nothing else.
He's angry.
There's so much more of the story. I thought it'd be over soon.
No.
Oh.
I thought it was like that's it. He was at the press. That's it. Done.
But we have
Okay.
to get to the climax.
Holy fuck.
Go, John.
All right. Remembering what he said at the start of this night, I realized what I had to do. I surfed to land and made my way northeast to where else? Lavender Town. Along the way, I noticed all the trainers, oddly still out at this hour. Wouldn't look at Steven, all of them, turning when he passed, even those that were normally static.
Yeah, you're really,
You keep
your,
doing that. and
your
it's
intonation
pissing me
is
off.
bizarre.
What intonation? I'm just trying to
You
read.
keep going.
Along the way,
That's
I
gonna
noticed
drive
all the
people
I
trainers.
tried
crazy.
talking.
It was driving me
It
mad.
drove all of us crazy.
Take a drink, please.
I tried talking to one of the officers in the guardhouse type buildings. Just go. They all said the same thing. Though one sent chills down my spine. Sometimes dead is best. Sometimes dead is best.
Sometimes that is better.
I can't. Ooh.
My hands were sweating by this point. Stephen was about to try the impossible. Something some would see as a crime against nature,
Oh my god.
which many
Oh
of
my
these
God.
people shared that opinion. I steeled myself. It's just a game. I was going to complete it.
It took an eternity to reach Pokemon Tower, but I got there eventually.
Wait.
No,
Wait.
I'm trying to power
Yes.
through this.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Yes, Dan.
Yes.
Want a Hakaluki?
Yes.
Yes, Dan.
Yes, Dan.
So,
Take a deep breath.
Pokemon for 500.
so, don't joke,
What
because
is
this is going to be on
fuck
Gorinaki
this?
eventually. This guy finds this weird hacked cartridge with all this weird shit in it,
In a garbage can.
and then
But he asked the garbage man
and then
if he could
has
take
this weird Frankenstein resurrection moment, and he makes it sound so goddamn serious when all he's doing is just using this missing glitched Pokemon. He's playing a game.
You know what? Let's
he's
not-
playing a
let's
fucking
not get
video
ahead of
game.
ourselves.
Dan, before
Let's-
you forget, he found the garbage, which is a metaphor for this is a fucking bullshit piece of story. That's what it is.
Like,
So meta. Okay. It took me an eternity to reach Pokemon Tower, but I got there eventually. Taking a deep breath and heading towards the tombstone, I remembered which one. The image of Steven standing before it was burned into my mind after all. First, I tried inspecting it. Steven said, "Mickey." Nothing happened. With a gulp, I opened the menu and selected missing.
I
note
like
from
to
the
imagine
bag.
this guy is holding like his little whatever
Just,
the
like,
fuck.
shaking.
He's just like, gulp.
Hang on. Now we got Oak saying, "Steven, don't use it." I was
Classic Will.
I was reminded of when Professor Oak would magically tell you you couldn't use a key item somewhere, like when using the bicycle in a building, though the message this time was different. Even worse, Steven responded to it. "In a world that cheated me, why should I play fair?" Steven used
you've
it.
activated my trap card.
Dots.
Steven obtained M at symbol pound $! Exclamation point.
Motherfucker.
Yes.
What in God's
Wait, is that
name?
wait? No, that's not Mickey. What is that? Why?
Matt hashtag $ exclamation
Oh
yo.
my God.
Okay, I could see the exclamation point as the I. A is the at.
Meshy.
Mesh.
Oh,
It's just garbage,
It's-
John.
it's-
You're really trying to
it's
rationalize
gobbledygook.
it?
I'm trying to
Honestly.
rationalize.
Gobbledygook.
The story. I'm involved. I'm invested now.
Oh god.
What in God's name did I obtain? I couldn't tell you, because the game took away my control.
Oh boy.
Without my input, Steven began to leave the tower on his own, walking single step by single step. The Lavender Town theme started playing again as he
That's
left
usually
the tower,
how you walk, yeah.
and began his excruciatingly slow journey against my will. Every time he crossed one of the borders where the music would change, it got progressively slower, more and more disturbing. By the time he reached Cerulean City, it was a demonic rumbling. I just stared, watching him, trying to guess where he was going, but it was getting more and more obvious. He was heading to Pallet Town.
Oh, Mike, you gonna get it?
Don't you hate all these authors that write all these crappy Pokemon stories? I'm gonna write one that's real.
Okay, can we all agree? You know who he's going after. You know for fucking sure he's going after.
Professor Oak.
No.
Banging his mom.
No, he's going for Mike. Give
He's
me your
going for his
Charizard. Give
mom's-
me Mickey. Give me Mickey.
He's going for his mom's pie.
God dang it!
You started it,
You
John.
started this.
You started it.
You started.
You
it.
did. You
You
said don't
mentioned
talk
Harry
during the
Pie.
intro, and I didn't, and it was fucking terrible. So now you reap what you sow.
Alright, go ahead, Dan.
The mu- so bad. The music had all but stopped when he got there, playing single note by single note. He went exactly where I'd guessed, right to his own house, inside, and up the stairs. At this point, there was no music, Steven moves step by step. Yeah,
I told you.
This motherfucker does. I keep re-emphasizing this. This motherfucker does not know how to use a period ever. Everything is common.
He doesn't know how to write.
That's fair. Steven moves step by step, stepping at his brother's bed, turning to face him. At first, I thought the game froze. He didn't do anything, simply stood there, and I couldn't move him. I did, however, find out I could open the pause menu. I was terrified to look, but I couldn't stop myself. I selected his trainer card. There was a low growl noise like a distorted Pokemon cry. Steven was looking at me again, directly at the screen. He was hunched over, his bangs obscuring his face, his hair was wild and feathered out. Jeff the Killer! Between his bangs, there wasn't even a face at all, just black with two red eyes looking straight forward. A white grin contrasting with the darkness.
That's why I made the mistake
This
earlier.
is Jeff the Killer with
I knew
blackface,
that.
man.
I know the ending of this. I
my
said black instead of blank. If you look at the bottom picture, you can actually see it.
We'll get there. Oh,
You could see the picture.
oh.
That wasn't all. His name was S exclamation point 3v3
Oh no!
7.
Not 3 exclamation point 3v3n.
He has become Leech.
He's Super Saiyan.
I couldn't look away.
Couldn't look away.
I couldn't look away.
You couldn't look away.
My eyes glued to his.
Oh my god.
Not breaking contact for some time.
At half-mast.
Kiss him, you fool.
Gay harder. My vision was getting blurry until I couldn't see very well. My face grew wet. I was crying like a baby. I love when I get these paragraphs to read.
This is baffling to me.
Oh, this
Does
is.
no one know about
This is
proofreading?
up there with Jeff the Killer.
It's
Holy
hilarious
shit.
that he thinks we too feel these emotions.
There was nothing I could do to hold back the tears. I was with this boy from the start. I built him up to greatness, and was then forced to watch his decline after a tragic accident.
No, you didn't.
And now, he was this thing, this abomination. Okay, let me just stop right here, and we're gonna.
You
go
didn't
to-
watch anything.
We're gonna go.
You went a
this is-
year.
This is precisely what I want to talk about, because there are games out there that make you feel, right?
There's scary
The
games
Last
out
of
there.
Us. Or,
Yeah.
No, I'm just talking
Oh,
about
just
like
games
just
general?
feeling,
Heavy Rain.
emotions. Shut your fucking mouth.
Sonic
Jason!
06, Sonic 06.
Sonic 06. You know, all of the David Cage games, they're masterpieces. But no, in all seriousness, there are games that really do make you feel. When you get to know the characters and the story, The Last of Us, what else recently came out? I can't.
Bastion was good. I don't know if
Bastion's
anyone's played
really
it.
good. Yeah. This Pokemon, I would never be emotionally attached.
It's because it's got all the writing depth of like a piece of wet cardboard.
Well, to be fair,
You
this
named one of your Pokemon bitch tits. first
I
of all.
did in Pokemon Go. To be fair, it was a Nidoqueen. To be fair,
Hurtful.
this author tries to explain, and okay, I'll give him this, that the Avatar, it's not an Avatar character, right? You're not just Tabula Rosa, you know, and you're putting yourself in. This is an actual character with like a real story in the game. But again, I don't give a shit about a tiny sprite walking across the screen.
No.
There's such a disconnect for me. And there are people out there that would just they don't feel anything watching any type of media. And they're called sociopaths. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
but no, and you know, people are gonna look at this and go, "This is bullshit," because why would you feel anything watching, you know, pixels on the screen? And okay, that's fair, but I don't feel anything because this author has given me nothing to earn
Also,
that
there's
feeling.
something that pissed
Yeah.
me off earlier. He said he watched this tragic decline. He didn't watch anything. It was a year later.
He didn't even watch the
You didn't watch a
Pokemon
decline.
die. Right,
You
right.
didn't watch a decline. You
Right.
watched the ending.
You watched Snap, and then the game shut off, and then you turn it back on.
And it's a year later. And he did the math.
All right, let's
And there was a certain amount of
let's get
hours.
to
Dylan, help us through.
All right. I watched him go insane.
Can you
No.
drop that line with a little more gravitas,
Yeah,
please?
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, watched him go insane. Is that better?
Yes.
It was-
I mean,
it was
Dan really
okay.
cut out at kind of the apex of our emotional investment, and I felt we
watched-
needed to kind of...
I watched him go insane.
Thank you.
Halting my tears, wiping my eyes.
My
I closed. I'm sorry.
To join the Black Parade.
I closed out the trainer card and tried to save the game, wanting to just quit.
I try to save the game.
Oh no! Oh
This
please!
game informed me that this was impossible.
Please.
Nothing can be saved now.
That's phenomenal. The cheese.
Here's the icing on the cake.
Oh,
The pause menu wouldn't close no matter what I did. So with no other option, I checked the bag. Nothing happened. I checked Pokemon, and there was one. A single sprite met me. It had 0 HP. Its status, DD. Its name, Mil.
M at $$ is how you
up.
say it out loud.
M at $$ word up. I selected it,
Word up.
and I was greeted with 4 options. Status, it's her. Switch, never. Close, no. Strangle.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, my God.
My fingers shaking, I selected Strangle, and the menu closed, showing Steven in the room again. S exclamation point 3V 3N. Goodbye. Snap. The game shut itself.
Wait, hold the fuck up.
Goodbye.
Alright, let me finish it.
Okay, no. Just a moment. Wait a minute. Wait. Just
Wait a goddamn moment.
Wait, just a. Okay.
Wait a moment.
So,
Yeah.
his fucking thing
Yeah.
died, which made him sad, and then he killed it again?
He
He
resurrected
resurrected it.
saw that it
used-
was an abomination, and went, I have to destroy it.
Okay.
Oh, I actually
fuck.
didn't even follow that.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Snap.
The game shut itself off. I was more dumbfounded than frightened. No, you were pretty frightened if you're crying about this. In a bit of shock, I turned it back on. Why? The title screen showing the manic Steven. I'm just going to say
Maniac.
Steven.
It's pronounced S exclamation point 3V3N.
Thanks, Will. And a horribly glitched Charizard. I pressed start, then continue. Why?
It's fine.
All I saw was a zoomed-out view of Pallet Town showing Steven's home to the west, tall grass surrounding it, those unmovable stones blocking it from the rest of the town. The image was completely static, no music, no movement, before fading to white. Going back to the title screen, it was as it had been when I first opened it. A trainer and a Charizard. I attempted to hit continue. No. Yes!
Was this,
Yeah.
was this like supposed to take on some Frankenstein bullshit that
people
did
are
not
gonna-
do it?
Look, guys, listen. I just want to say, I'm sorry. We had to get through this at some point.
Sorry.
The haunted gaming thing, we had to get through it. We had to just see what it was. You got it. It's part of the experience. There's a lot of good in Creepypasta. There's a lot of bad in Creepypasta.
People...
And spoiler alert, I despise Pokemon Creepypasta. Not because of what they each are, but because of the sheer numbers. The total amount of them are huge. And I've never read a Pokemon Creepypasta I liked.
There are
Ever.
people that are going to listen to this, and some of them may think, well, Dan, what the fuck? This is just as dumb as Jeff the Killer. Why didn't you find this really enjoyable? And I think the reason why I didn't find this enjoyable was because it's the same problem that I have with The House That Death Forgot, where there's pieces that you could see potential in. I'm going to give this story the benefit of the doubt, because I don't know any real other Pokemon Creepypasta.
Except for Black, when you talked about it
I
earlier.
think this was years and years ago. I don't remember the fucking distinct shit in that story. It's
Right.
something about Lavender Town, and when your Pokemon gets knocked out, it's dead, and then it's like years
It's the
and years and
Nuzlocke.
years later. Yeah, but like it's years and years later, you're an old man. It's some bullshit like that.
Okay.
So it's very similar to this, but there are things that I kind of like. I like the idea of like
Yeah.
having a depressed character.
No, I
That,
like...
something horrible
Let me tell you
happens to them and
something,
they
Dan.
wander around aimlessly.
Sorry.
But it's just this is just so fucking.
Dan, let me tell you
stupid.
something. I like some haunted gaming stuff.
Right.
And I do want to show it to you at some point. But you wouldn't
Bend
understand...
around.
Well, that's
I already
being
read
told.
Bend Around.
But no, the thing, there
read
are
Bend
some
Around,
haunted
yeah,
gaming
that's
stuff that I like, and a haunted game that I am going to be showing you guys in the future. But I had to show you the generics first.
We had to go
I had to
feet
show
wet.
you the base of the cellar of
The
haunted gaming
foundation.
first, so that you can appreciate when someone takes the same concept but makes something different, which we will be reading soon.
the thick
Frothiness.
foundation made of compacted diarrhea. That is.
I mean, this story is literally, it's just like Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, it is.
But written in like shit form about Pokemon. That
The
was a
emotions-
fine book. There's nothing wrong with Pet Cemetery. It's a good story. Well, Kit Kat dies, everybody's sad. Brings it back. The cat's all like, "Oh, I'm a fucking spook," and the dad's like, "Well, now my boy's dead. Let's throw him in the mixer, and then I won't spoil the end for you
Sometimes
guys."
dad is better.
Yeah, sometimes dead is better.
All right,
was the
so
crux
let's
of that as well.
all right, let's break this down. First of all, we got to address the elephant in the room, the beginning.
I think we really addressed it.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
my
metaphor-
that's my
No, but
biggest
now that
garbage.
you've read this story,
Right.
compared to what he was saying earlier about tons of stories about hacked Pokemon games, and God, these writers, it's like, God, don't these writers know less is more when it comes to these stories?
Right,
it's
it's not-
painful to read that,
That is
after
It's
reading
not-
this whole
it's
thing.
not there's a certain way to do metafiction that's clever and interesting. Like, like I don't know, like Scott Pilgrim, I guess, would be like the best example I can pull up off the top of my head. It's not
I
even
can't
really
think of another,
like
yeah.
more like Don Quixote maybe, where there's like metafiction involved in there. This is not, but the way it's done, there's clever ways to do it. Where again, it's wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but this is just in your face. The fucking story opens with all those terrible Pokemon pods, and then proceeds to be another
Like,
archetype
you know,
of a
which is-
terrible
which
fucking
is the
Pokemon.
real
Like, you know
problem.
more.
Right.
You
It's
know
not
better.
clever.
You know better
Right,
than
it's
them.
not clever when you bring it's not clever or meta when you bring attention to something and then do it ironically, like we were talking about before, shitting on the floor.
Yeah, it's
that
just-
makes it even worse. It makes it way worse if you do that. It's
Yeah.
awful. Ugh.
You can't call attention to tropes if you're not going to subvert them, or else you look like an asshole.
Right, or at least try. This guy didn't even try to subvert them.
It was just terrible.
he was just
Whenever
an
he
asshole.
brought up a trope, he made another comment about the meta-ness of it, and then proceeded to use that trope
Yeah,
anyway.
really. Which is maybe like almost like a troll story, because literally he really hits
Could be.
everything on the head. Like, oh, less is more. LOL. Proceeds to bust out this incredibly boring, mundane
It was
fucking
more of a hypocrite. It was
slog.
like a trolling.
And he's like,
hypocritic-
guys,
yeah,
Lavender
hypocritical.
Town all the time. That's silly. And then proceeds to make that like a core of his story, and just like,
Here's the other problem I have with the story. I'm not sure if I fully understood what happened from like point A to point B.
Yep,
Like, I
that
understand.
confused the
It just-
fuck out of me.
I
There
mean,
was,
I think what happened was he beat the game. His Charizard dies. He's at the thing and he's walking around randomly. He catches a missing no. He uses the missing no as an item to revive his dead Charizard.
he never says at any point that he does that.
He goes to he
It's
uses the
implied.
item.
Well,
It's
first off, they
implied.
say that Charizard's dead. Wouldn't it just be lost in the void?
Well, it's Mickey.
Mickey, wouldn't Mickey
It's
be
in the
lost
ground. It's a
But
tombstone.
when the train thing snapped, wouldn't she just be lost in the void?
I don't
I
think this
mean,
game.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened.
Because
don't
remember,
know.
she was in mid-trade, next thing you know, the pipe snapped, connecting to his game.
So wait, what fucking happens here is that, well, the pipe snap. Like, we have literally no idea how his
don't
Pokemon
know.
dies.
Maybe the pipe
Right.
snapped.
Ready?
don't
Here's
know
the extent of what we know.
what
How
the snap
ready?
is.
Here's what we know. What happens? Snap. That's
it.
the extent of his
Right.
literary
That equals dead
explanation.
Charizard mid-trade.
Yeah.
Snaps.
So
Pokemon?
And Mike is
Fine.
sorry about
Like, he
it.
was handing it to Mike and he dropped it. It just
There's-
it landed on its neck and it was like, that was
there's-
No, he's holding the Pokeball, he drops it, just shatters like the
Yeah.
glass china
maybe
thing.
it's like the metaphor for like if the kid pulls out the link cable mid trade and then
It
the
gets-
Pokemon gets
it's lost
corrupted
it's
and
lost
gets
forever.
lost. Yeah.
Maybe,
That's the only
yeah.
one I can think of.
Because then it's like a
Well,
glitchy
what's that
thing
have
that
to
he has
do-
to...
Oh, because
But-
I guess strangling
yeah.
at the end, he's strangling. But that's so stupid.
Well,
No,
yeah,
the
but-
strangling doesn't come
even
until
say-
the end.
Right.
Yes, but even saying that, they would technically be lost in the void.
No, it's fucking ridiculous.
That,
And-
like you're saying, if you take the link cable out mid-trade and it's not there anymore, it was lost in the void. It's
Right.
not dead, it just...
Listen, okay,
Bye-bye.
I didn't play Pokemon, okay? I played Chows in the Sonic
Play
games. That was
Pokemon Go.
way cooler.
Chows were quite cool.
They were pretty awesome.
Okay, but like
you
Is
play
there
Pokemon
any
Go.
Chow creepypasta?
the end.
Oh, I guarantee
Oh,
it.
fuck.
Okay.
Oh,
the
fuck.
Oh,
But-
there are so many
okay,
Sonic
putting-
ones.
Oh, please, Jesus,
boy.
tap dancing Christ. We need to put this on a shelf because I can't do both at once. Putting that aside, the ending of this shit is almost more nebulous than the actual tragedy that we're supposed to be horrified
Why is he?
by.
Why is he this? Why did he turn evil?
No, not even. Cause that's
Not
you know,
even the image.
Look, you can be like, oh, his grief made him a crazy vagabond. Whatever. Fucking, you're weird and terrible writer. That's fine. The point is, he fucking goes to where his Pokemon's buried, uses Missingo on it, which doesn't... There's no correlation to the actual games. Missing No was not an item.
No, it was a Pokemon.
It didn't do anything to other Pokemon. Like, there's no...
If you evolve it, I think it does something, right? Doesn't it glitch your Pokemon your roster?
I thought it, like, crashed your game.
What?
If you catch Missing No.
No, you can catch Missing No problem. It's just you can't trade it. If you trade it, it won't go.
Wait,
It'll glitch
well,
your entire game, and your game will break.
Alright, yeah, I thought it just crashed the game at a certain point.
No, it's only when you try to trade it. That's it.
Either way, yeah, so there's no real, like, basis even in the game.
It's not an item, basically.
There's no basis in the game for us to understand what's happening. So he needs to be the one to explain it, which he refuses to do.
He'll keep explaining why it's scary, but without
explaining anything.
Without actually presenting anything that's scary.
Instead of telling us what's happening, he spends the entire time telling us how scared he is.
Yeah.
That's the entire last half of the story. It's us being like, what's going on? And him going, tears were falling from my eyes. And it's like,
I halted my tears.
I'm not watching a YouTube React channel. You can't just tell me what you're doing and expect me to care. Yeah, so like that's the biggest problem with this second half is no one knows what's going on and he's just telling us how he feels, you know? I still don't know what happened.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's another huge problem with this story. It wants you, rather than... It's show, not tell. Like, it's rather than having you find the horror in it, or that it's creepy, the author's like, I'm so scared, I'm so terrified, I'm crying, it's so sad. It's like, I don't give a shit about any of this.
He got so caught up in telling us what to think, he forgot to tell us why to think it.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know?
What do you think, Dill?
Like in the beginning of the story, it's garbage. All I gotta say.
It's a poo-poo.
I mean, I was trying to like play, because you played the game before. I was trying to imagine it in my head, like with all the sprites and all that. Then I was like,
I do. Okay, I'll give you some positives about it. The first thing is I like the idea of, because usually a hacked game isn't the same game. Like there's going to be some twist on it. I like the idea that there's a prequel.
Some twist as in it crashes halfway through.
No, some twists around, as in like a neck twist.
Yeah, that's a cool.
Oh,
twist my
but no, like this is the older brother of
that's
Red.
a cool idea.
Yeah,
the concept of like having a prequel where like something horrible happens and he quits being a trainer and that's why there's no champion. All right, I'll give it that. That's an interesting idea, but it's
not scary.
Exactly.
Come up with your own story. Don't read a Stephen King book and be like, yeah, it's a good idea. I should write that myself, and in terrible ways, you know.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, this is just.
I don't think there's anything more to say, really.
No, there's not. This is another story that really speaks
that's
for
fine.
itself.
I mean,
with string theory and security tape, we really had a lot of analysis.
Because those are science. We should do more science fiction-y pastas because those make you think.
Yeah, true. Well, we're gonna do some more. We're gonna do some more hunting game that I prefer.
Okay.
Some newer stuff.
Okay.
That's why. But we had to get. This was like a band-aid. It had to be done. It had
just
to
like
be.
the last episodes.
Yeah, Squidward suicide
Those
had to happen.
did not have to happen.
Yes, they did.
Bart's did not.
Bart didn't.
We're learning, Will. We're learning so we can become creepypasta experts.
Bart was a fetid ass crack of a story. That
there's
was an awful experience.
there's a follow-up to it.
I don't want to know.
I read it recently.
That's fine.
It's pretty bad.
I believe you.
So we're gonna sign out here. Okay, so this has been John, aka the Skillfully, joined by my friends Dylan.
Gods be
you
praised.
can't wave, motherfucker. It's a podcast.
Okay. Gods be praised. That's it.
Dan.
Don't forget to spade and neuter your Pokemon.
Like, comment.
Shut up. William.
I'm just going to say goodbye. I'm done.
All right, and this is John signing out and telling you to stay awesome and always remember to scare your friends.